usually in the past, the state treasurer's office, people will just think, oh, that's, we don't care who the state treasurer is, and put, blah, blah, blah. But guess who's brought cool back to the state treasurer's office? And actually, it's probably more of a fun job than it's ever been, considering how we're looking at our economy going, and we've got a lot of opportunities, innovations, and finally a administration in D.C. and now also in the state that is heck bent on relaxing, suffocating regulations and beyond. And his name is Eric Schmitt, state treasurer of the state of Missouri. Eric Schmitt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Not only excitement in the treasurer's office, but Rob Zombie at 7:30 in the morning. I love it.
I know. Hey, buddy, listen, I'm sorry, actually. I had every intention on Monday of going out at where you were at the what's the farm called where the
Warm Springs Ranch. Yeah, I thought you were going to be there. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It turns out, first of all, I was going to go because I wanted to see the Clydesdales. I thought that was going to be really cool. But then, because I had to tape TV and do all that kind of stuff, then I realized it's in Boonville. I'm like, oh, I can't.
You know what's funny is, so I guess I'm used to driving all over the place, although I see you everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is, I took my girls with me and my 9-year-old daughter, my 7-year-old daughter. So it was fun.
Yeah.
It was raining the whole way there and back, but it took me back to my Grant's Farm days. Little known fun fact: when I was in college, I gave tours at Grant's Farm, and so it was funny to see the Clydesdales again. They had a Clydesdale that was born. For your listeners, it's a breeding facility for the Clydesdales.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had a Clydesdale born the night before.
Oh,
it's 140 pounds. It's like anyway. So I was lobbying for naming rights of the Clydesdale. I wasn't successful. I was maybe the best dad in the universe, at least for a day. But,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that was cool.
It was fun.
Well, you were basically launching the Missouri First initiative, which is designed to help small businesses and agricultural operations. Of course, that farm would be one of them, even though they're obviously feeding into the AB, but still small business. Tell me about Missouri First.
Yeah. So we've talked about this before, Jamie. So if you think of the statewide offices as a board of directors, the state treasurer really kind of serves as a CFO, and that allows us to. We've been working on pension reform, tax reform, some of those kinds of things. But we have a $4 billion portfolio that we try to earn a return for taxpayers. And one of the programs that we're in charge of is this link deposit program. Has been known in the past, which is a low interest loan program for small businesses. We work with banks. Banks make the loans. The money's a little bit cheaper. The state gets a return for it. But it's really kind of a direct connection to Main Street, Missouri. And so when I was running for office, we talked about, look, we're going to invest less in Wall Street, and we're going to invest more in Main Street. And what we've done now here by launching Missouri First is breathing new life into this and making it easier for people to use, saving taxpayer money by bringing it into the modern era with digitization as opposed to these paper applications, cutting the red tape, and allowing businesses that are doing well to be able to renew. That was one thing that they were prohibited in the past. So we were, there's a bunch of examples. We were at Arctic Ice here in St. Louis County a couple of months ago, who's utilized it. They were able to expand their operations with a cold storage facility there. We were in Springfield yesterday at a lumber yard. I mean, these are the businesses that employ families all across the state. I mean, 90% of our businesses are small businesses. So this is a way for us to help grow the economy. It's one piece. It's not a silver bullet, but you talk about tax reform, you talk about things like this, getting government sort of out of the way, cutting red tape, bringing it into the modern era. That's what we're all about, and we're proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the things about cutting the red tape is that the linked deposit program, which, by the way, isn't costing taxpayers any money. In fact, ultimately it benefits taxpayers down the line, correct?
That's right. Yeah, we're earning a return for taxpayers. Yep.
All right. So they used to have like a restriction on there that it was a single-use restriction. Explain that.
Yeah. So you'd only be able, like, if you had an operation that was doing one thing and you wanted to do another, it was challenging for that. But let's take, for example, an auto mechanic, and we visited one in Washington, Missouri, a few months ago that had expanded their operation. They were doing well, so they were able to get a loan. Get it a little bit cheaper. It's about a 30% discount through the Missouri First program and expand. Well, if they're doing well and want to expand again, they were prohibited, and really nobody could understand why. And so when we got in office a year ago, we really took a fresh look and a new set of eyes with our team and said, how can we make these things better? And we literally went around the state, talked to agriculture leaders, which is an $80 billion kind of industry from Missouri. We talked to small businesses. We talked to those community banks, those local banks that know Main Street. And this was the feedback we got. They said, why in the world will we not be able to do this again for somebody that's been successful? And so we took that feedback to heart, and it's one of the changes that we're implementing. And so I've always found that listening, like really listening, is an understated attribute of leadership, and we're trying to do that in the treasurer's office.
Look at you bringing the fun back to being the treasurer of the state of Missouri.
Right.
You know what's even better, Eric, is they have this is all coinciding with the resurgence, hopefully, of community banks after the rollbacks of some of the Dodd-Frank regulations. That's been a real problem all around the country, is that these community banks, which are there's the too big to fail and there's too small to survive, thanks to the regulations. And so this is a perfect kind of symmetry here between the resurgence of community banks and the Missouri First program expanding.
It really is, Jamie. And Missouri in particular, not every state has as many community banks as Missouri has. Missouri literally has hundreds of those kinds of banks. And what I've found is you get around the state and you get a flavor of what's happening, and you do this. I see you. You're down in the Boot Heel. You're in Southwest Missouri. You're in Mid-Missouri. You're in Northwest Missouri. It's a really diverse state. Our economy is diverse. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But those leaders in those communities know exactly what's happening on Main Street. And so we want to really get around and listen to those folks. And this is the way, you're right, with the lessening of some of those restrictions, and Dodd-Frank was really strangling these community banks. We think this is part of an effort. We think as tax reform moves forward, it's part of the effort. I've been on the show. We've talked about 529 changes, allowing families to use that for K through 12, pension reform, all these things that we can play an important role in as CFO to move Missouri forward. I think, I've got 3 kids. I want Missouri to be the place where they have a great education, a great career, where there's more opportunity, and we're playing a small part in that, but I'm really proud of it.
All right, buddy. How's your mom doing?
She's great. She loves you. I mean, honestly, we were in Jeff City, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
She always asks about you, and a loyal listener. The Schmitt family loves Allman in the Morning and your TV show. I mean, you're everywhere. So,
well, brother,
sorry
thank
I missed you at Warm Springs Ranch, but I know you're busy doing a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah,
so.
No doubt. And you are too, and it's fun to watch. And Eric Schmitt, State Treasurer of the State of Missouri, thank you, and thanks to your mom for listening. I met you a long time. I remember meeting Eric for the first time a long time ago, and met it was when you were campaigning. I think, was it the U.S. Senate or was it the House? Were you in the?
Yeah, when I was running for the Senate the first time.
Right,
yeah.
that's right.
And my mom came in studio. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, thanks so much. Appreciate you. Godspeed, and thanks for all you do. Rock on, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's State Treasurer Eric Schmitt.